what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing today? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is 3 Black Theater, and this is kind of an odd video to make, but it does show you the state of things in regards to home video, DVD sales, and how other countries outside of the United States are being impacted by the streaming wars, and ultimately what's going to happen to some of these markets that are going to be directly impacted by a full stop of DVD productions and DVD sales and home video rentals. And this is interesting because there's an article coming out today from Iceland Review that says that Disney put the final nail in the coffin for Iceland's DVD market. Now, you may not care that much about Iceland and their DVD market and their home video market and things like that, but it does go to show you that in these countries, these more isolated countries, so to speak, not North America or not China or Europe, things like that, it is more difficult in some areas to not only get streaming services because of how telecom companies break things up, or they don't have stable enough internet to be able to do streaming, or the market just hasn't opened up for those particular platforms yet. I mean, keep in mind, Netflix is still expanding into new territories, and it has been around since 2007 in regards to home streaming. So there's a lot there that it takes a lot to kind of get things going. And so, but the home video marketplace is still been, well, something that's been used heavily. But apparently, according to this, that's no more. With Frozen 2 being what killed Iceland's DVD market, which is kind of ironic in some way. Now, it says here that the recent announcement that there will not be an Icelandic dubbed DVD edition of Frozen 2 is a death knell of the once booming DVD market in Iceland. This is according to the managing director of Sam Film, the distribution arm of the Sambio theater chain. Disney will no longer be releasing DVDs in smaller markets as it turns its focus to VOD rental platforms. A decision which the officials say signals the final nail in the coffin of DVDs and their releases in Iceland. And so, I know that this is centered around Iceland, but it's very indicative of other portions of the world as well. With the fact that they're not releasing things on DVD as often anymore, and then that's going to easily transfer over to Blu-ray. I've been saying for years that from when Blu-ray won the HD wars for high definition video discs, it was already a product that had an expiration date. Like the DVD, the Blu-ray boom from 2008, 2009, and for a couple of years was going to balloon itself out. It was going to already be archaic by 10 years on, and it really is. I haven't bought a Blu-ray in a while. I love Blu-rays. I love going and getting physical media, but nowadays with everything, just with the availability of everything, it makes it kind of pointless. I spend my money on subscription services rather than owning physical media, which is both good and bad if you think about it. Now, it says here, major foreign animated films generally screen in local theaters with Icelandic dubbing, but if Icelandic language DVDs are not subsequently released, this could mean that Icelandic speaking fans may have a long wait before they can watch the Icelandic version of the movie again, which cuts into the ancillary market, the home video market. That is a very large portion of some of the money that is earned by these movie studios. If you ever go to thenumbers.com and break down how much is made off of home video sales just for certain movies, I mean, it's insane. Like Star Wars The Force Awakens, yeah, it did I think $2 billion in the box office, right? But it did also over 112 million in home video sales, and that's not including digital. That's just what the retailers reported from DVD and Blu-ray sales. So that's a lot of extra money in their pocket that is kind of now being cut out even in these territories as a result of all of this. Now it says here, however, if these titles are restricted to specific streaming platforms, that could create delays for viewers after a movie leaves the theater. Case in point, Disney now has streaming service Disney Plus, but this platform is not yet available in Iceland, and it is uncertain when it will make its debut in the country. So for right now, it's not even available in Iceland. Here in the States, I can watch Frozen 2 right now if I want. I could stop this video, go out to my Disney Plus and watch Frozen 2. I don't know why I would. It's a bad movie, but I have that ability. I have that first world ability. Iceland doesn't have that, and they're not even going to be able to watch it on home video, which is just, it's sad to me. Kids like it. I don't like it, but kids like it. It does say here that DVD and then before that VHS rental was for a long time a mainstay of Icelandic culture. But like everywhere, the rise of streaming services and downloadable content has steadily chipped away at the local market. 5 years ago, Iceland's largest video and DVD store closed, with its owner citing the significant decrease in the number of films released with Icelandic subtitles as a primary factor for the closure, saying there used to be 30 to 50 films released per month, but now it's more like 10. And then just last year, Iceland's largest electronics chain, Elko, announced that it would no longer be selling DVDs because they're just not producing them. Now, some could argue in this particular factor, some could argue that the DVD market itself has died, but we have to also look at the fact that they still sell DVDs at Walmart here in the States, which means that people still buy DVDs, meaning that there is an entire group of people, an entire market of people that don't have Blu-ray players and therefore choose to watch things on DVD. I don't know. I've had Blu-ray for well over 10 years now. I don't quite know specifically, like, I don't know why it's, I mean, you can get a Blu-ray player for $50. I don't get it personally, but you know what? Other countries, they have different regionings and everything else. That could be the reason, but people still buy DVDs. Now it says here, while the DVD market is on the decline in Iceland, the guy from before, says he believes Frozen 2 still would have sold well in the country. People can still buy the DVD abroad, but without Icelandic dubbing, this really isn't practical or a preferable option for parents with young children. In addition, he says there are still collectors in Iceland who want to own movies on DVD, even if many homes no longer have a DVD player at all. Yeah, if I find an HD DVD anywhere, I usually tend to pick it up. I like to collect HD DVDs because it's such an archaic technology at this point, kind of like Laserdisc. There's only so many of them made. I just kind of like to own them. And it says here that Icelanders tend to be early adopters, which may have brought about a premature end to the local DVD market, saying we Icelanders are so incredibly quick to switch over to new technologies that the market just collapsed here. There is still a DVD market in the UK and in Germany and in other large countries, but we're so quick to adapt to new things. That kind of does feel like a little bit of a cop out there. It's like, yeah, no, we're so quick, we're so fast. We're so fast to get these, to do new technology that we just kind of blew out the market. But you can't, to be fair, you can't really say that this is the death knell for the home video market in Iceland. But when you guys also kind of contributed to it, I mean, I get what you're trying to say there, and I think it is fundamentally true, like inarguably true, that there are a lot of problems with the DVD marketplace. And they're saying DVDs, not Blu-rays, and it is always going to be evolving in regards to technology, evolving in regards to digital or just distribution models and the type of media. I mean, I prefer, like, I love owning physical media, but I prefer digital because I could put it on my computer, my TV, my console, my phone, my tablet. You know, I remember downloading things and putting them on my PSP, and I would sit in my car at work and I would like be on my break and I'd watch an episode of Spider-Man, the animated series, because I ripped it off of YouTube and I threw it on a card and I put it in the PSP and I would just watch it on my PSP, or later on my PS Vita. I would do the same thing. You know, like I would just do, like, that's how I like to kind of approach technology. And I can understand how over the years my purchasing habits have altered in how I do things because of the technology that's available. But DVDs are still DVDs, and DVDs are still physical media, and there are people out there who still want to buy physical media. But at the same time, if the people out there who want to buy the physical media don't at least like compete in the marketplace and put the money into the marketplace, then you can see why these companies are scaling it back. Disney realizes that the amount of money they will earn off of Disney Plus is far greater than home video sales. You know, I mean, you figure they'll be able to get people for $7 a month, and they've got 50 some odd million subscribers right now worldwide paying. And that's like what, like $385 million a month that they're getting right now. So that's a couple $billion a year. Now, granted, when you talk about, you know, licensing and production, or, you know, you have production costs, you have storage costs, you have hosting costs, you know, of all the other ancillary costs associated with it, it's not as big of a profit margin as, let's say, the parks, which bring home a lot of money in profit. We're talking over $2 billion a year in profit. it definitely helps. And right now, it's kind of like the only real avenue of income Disney has. So they're going to be focusing on that heavily, investing all the resources into that heavily, which means that pulling back, scaling back the DVD sales or the DVD's physical media in non-essential countries. And I know that seems kind of weird to say, but it feels like it's more accurate. In these non-essential countries is going to isolate them, but it's going to save Disney. And then it becomes kind of like a thing of like, well, I mean, why aren't they as good as the rest of us? Why don't they get the same treatment? And that's kind of how I view it. Like, why doesn't Disney just put the money in to do it? You know, if there's obviously a marketplace for it, then don't, you know, if you're not going to offer an alternative, then don't screw over the customer. Because if Icelanders are quick to adopt new technologies, who's to say they're gonna adopt Disney Plus if Disney Plus has already been out for 6 months around the world in some countries, but it's not available there? It becomes a bit of an issue. Anyway, I just thought this was an interesting story. I wanted to share it with you guys and get your thoughts and your opinions on this one. Do you think the home video market has a long time left? Or is it kind of is this kind of just the start of the decline? Are we starting to see the edges fray as it starts burning itself towards the center, which would then be a full stopping sales of home video, rentals and or home video purchasing like at Walmart and stores like that here in the States? I mean, that's a long way off, but I believe it's an inevitability at this point. And that's coming at it like Thanos, you know? But I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear your opinions. Let me know down in the comments. Again, hopefully the green screen works okay. And hopefully you're not hearing a crying baby because she's vocalizing. And I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day and peace out.